So my name is Jason. I've been playing drums for a little while, most of my life, basically. And I am here to run you through what has kind of become my standard recording drum set for I would say probably the past 2 years. There's this fashion where a lot of people are looking for more vintage drum tones in their recordings. So I kind of went, let me find the oldest drum set that I own and start putting that back together again to get some cool sounds. So the toms on this drum set come from actually the very first Sonor kit that I bought back when I was in high school, the Force 2001. And over here I have the 12-inch and the 16-inch. There's a 13-inch in the back, which I also put up occasionally. But so I fit these drums with vintage Emperor coated heads. They're just a little bit thicker than a standard Emperor, but that adds to kind of the dryness of the tone. And you can actually see at the bottom here, my resonant heads are also coated, which does add to the dryness as well. And I'm not sure if you'll be able to see through this, but I actually put some cotton balls on the inside that lie on the resonant head, because that kind of dampens or tapers your sustain on the drum. So you get a slightly shorter, drier tone out of the drum. Just a bit of geeky talk. That's kind of how I treat my toms, to get a more retro vintage kind of tone. Same with the floor tom, the 16-inch floor tom. Then over here I have a very special drum. It is part of a Sonor Phonic Centennial series. Basically it was made on the 100-year anniversary of Sonor's existence. And I mean, even now it's pretty old, 1975. I'm not going to do the math, but it's made of beechwood, actually, which is an indigenous tree in Germany. Has a very, very, very nice sound, 24 by 16, I think it is. And it's a very retro kind of greenish color. Cool. And then my snare drum, the snare drum that I have, which has kind of become one of my go-to snare drums, is a Force 3007 maple snare drum. It's kind of a standard maple snare, 13-inch by 7 actually. So for some reason I really like 13-inch snare drums. They tend to have a very nice character about them. I don't know what it is. I haven't explored the science, but to my ear they just sound very cool. So yeah, and this has kind of become my go-to snare. I don't think they make these anymore, and so I'm very glad that I picked one up while they were available. Then cymbal wise, I have a lot of cymbals. I kind of have three main setups, if you want to call it that. I have my brighter setup, which consists of basically a bunch of A custom cymbals. I don't have A custom hi-hats, but these K custom hybrid hats that I have are also very nice and articulate, slightly brighter on the tonal spectrum for me. Yes, I have a custom 17-inch crash. I also have a 16-inch in the back there somewhere. A custom 19-inch crash, which I tend to use quite a lot actually. A lot of the recordings that I do, producers are asking me for big cymbals, so the 19-inch fits nicely into that genre. And then this A custom 22-inch ride I actually bought secondhand off a friend of mine, and I'm very glad that I did. Has an amazing kind of rocky sound. The bell is enormous, but the cymbal has such a nice character to it, a nice shimmer, but nice body as well. So also one of my favorite go-tos for any kind of rocky genre that I record drums for. Okay, cool. So yeah, let's hear what it sounds like. Let me start with a bass drum. So basically the sound you're hearing is just a stereo mic in front of the kit. There's no close miking or EQing or weird processing happening. It's basically the natural sound of the drum or the cymbal that you're going to hear. So bass drum, obviously with some resonance from the rest of the kit. That's part of what makes an organic drum set really awesome for me. It's how everything interplays. And the snare drum, which I think sounds pretty cool. Nice depth to it, nice crack. Anyway, you can judge for yourself. Cool. Then my 12 and 16 inch toms with a slightly drier tone. Nice quick in and out. Yeah. There we go. So cymbal selection, the A customs, like I mentioned, are nice and bright. And then the ride has a beautiful tone. Nice and solid bell sound. Cool. And then the hi-hat. Which, yeah, is a K-Custom hybrid. Sounds cool to me. You can decide again for yourself. There you go.